They say the first 50 years of childhood are the hardest. But what if midlife isn't a crisis? What if it's a climax? A moment of awakening, a chance to stop sleepwalking through your life and finally live with intention. I'm Cheryne, a life coach, author, and speaker, and this is a new way to love, live, and lead. This podcast is here to remind you that midlife isn't the end of the road. It's the turning point, the wake-up call, the chance to live, love, and lead, not by default, but by intention. From the moment I started my coaching business almost 20 years ago, I noticed the same pattern again and again. No matter what people came to me with, stress, relationship struggles, self-doubt, it all traced back to 3 toxic beliefs at the root of so much suffering. I'm not good enough. I'm not loved. I'm not worthy. These beliefs shaped the way people saw their lives, the way they showed up in relationships, and the way they built their identities. And they shaped me too. For me, the story of not good enough started very young. I still remember my first day of kindergarten, walking in with my frizzy hair and funny accent, and feeling like everyone was laughing at me. In that moment in my little child's mind, I decided that being different meant I didn't belong, and that belief stayed with me for years. On the outside, I was ambitious and driven, with a deep sense of purpose. But on the inside, I carried this constant whisper of doubt. And because of that doubt, I often lost myself in relationships. I people-pleased. I performed. I did whatever I could do to be loved. Because if I was loved, then I was safe. But it came at a cost. That pattern exhausted me. It led me to burnout. My so-called midlife crisis actually began in my mid-30s when I left a difficult marriage. I was broken inside. After years of pressuring myself to perform, to prove, to achieve, I thought stress and busyness were success. I thought having the perfect life was happiness. But what I was really doing was abandoning myself. I had been conditioned to please, to put others first, and to believe that my worth came from being chosen or validated by someone else. That wasn't healthy self-worth. That was fear masquerading as love. Setting myself free in my mid-30s put me on a new path. I became a coach, I opened my own business, and since then I've had the privilege of working with hundreds of people to help them flip their fear into empowerment. And I'm still on that journey myself because I've come to see that in each of us, there's a duality. There's our ego self, the child inside who feels separate, who doubts, who questions worthiness. The ego helps us survive. And there's our sacred self, our essence, our empowered state, the part of us that remembers we are love, we are worthy, and the sacred self is here to help us thrive. My work and this podcast is helping you move from fear into empowerment, from stressed to shining, from self-doubt to confident courage, and from stuck to courageous, confident action. Midlife to me is the time when we finally get too tired to keep running the old patterns. It's the moment consciousness rises and says, enough. It's the moment when your power starts to override your pattern. And that's when true awakening begins. Society calls it midlife crisis. I'd like to call it a climax. The moment you stop abandoning yourself and start embodying your true self, your true power. And I want to ask you something that you can consider for yourself. If midlife isn't a crisis, what could it be for you? A reset? A revolution? A chance to finally choose yourself? Each week, I'll bring you empowering conversations and practical tools with real stories to help you break your fear, break people-pleasing and self-doubt. You'll build authentic confidence and self-trust, navigate your relationship changes, and deepen intimacy. And you will lead your life with courage, clarity, and purpose. Because this isn't just about thriving in midlife. It's about rewriting the rules of how we love, live, and lead, all on our own terms. This podcast is going to help you break old patterns and embody your sacred self and live with intention so you can thrive in your relationships, in your purpose, and in your own skin. So welcome to a new way to love, live, and lead. This is your invitation to live, love, and lead, not by default, but by intention. And if today's message resonated with you, I'd love you to subscribe or follow, and please share this with a friend who may be navigating midlife. And if you can, please leave a quick review. That's how we can spread this awakening even further. And next week, we'll dive deeper into these concepts and start to look at breaking the people-pleasing pattern in midlife. Because saying no can be the most powerful yes of your life. Until then, remember that midlife is not a crisis. It's our climax. And your most powerful chapter starts right now.